I have a question for people over 30 or grew up when arcades were still prominently around. How did it feel back then, using your hard-earned money on a game that was out for blood, that wasn't just after your pride, but also your pocket change? What made you keep going, to go for one more try, and what did you learn or what realizations did you have playing those games over and over again? Maybe it taught you patience, strength and repetition, or how much you love gambling. I always had immense respect for the developers back then. It's very hard to create an experience that's both good from a structural standpoint, addicting so people keep playing it, and also hard as balls so people dump all your coins to the machines. I do genuinely wonder if there's been a study on this, how developers make games that made you go, oh, just one more time, and then 3 hours pass. I guess it's the same feeling when you get one shot by an Elden Ring boss and go, come on, just one more try. Except the only thing you lose is your pride because you suck at the game. And that transitions into how old arcade games are treated today, where they thankfully aren't after your money, but now the only thing you lose is your time and pride. And I have a lot of pride. A lot of companies have been lenient with how they release their old arcade games, either being compilations, completely free, or added as a little bonus in their modern games. And one of these scenarios in which this occurred was Outrun in Yakuza 0. And you saw the title, so you know what this is about. Here's how Outrun Yakuza 0 made me get my driving license. I should state right now that I'm a pretty recent Yakuza fan. I've only been playing for about over a year, and I played 0, Kiwami, Kiwami 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm currently playing 6 right now. And I want to make a more focused video on the Yakuza series, but one thing I've always enjoyed is the life simulation aspect of the game. It's not just that you can deviate from the plot and do whatever you want, it's that the game wants you to, and offers so many experiences if you do so. You could probably just play one minigame forever and never complete the main story. It's sort of like what people did with the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure 2. I know certain people who spent more time in that than the actual game, and I can understand why. It sometimes gets exhausting playing Yakuza, and there are very obvious points where the game wants you to do random stuff, so I'm like, sure, why not? I can walk around and go do karaoke or play arcades instead of just, I don't know, doing it in real life. Going outside? Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. This would lead me to the Sega arcade, where I would see it. Alto. Run! I really enjoy playing racing games. Mario Kart, if you consider that a racing game, is the most obvious, but I sometimes played old racing games on my Xbox or PlayStation. I don't know what they were called, they're all 6 feet under anyway, but seeing Outrun, I was like, okay, I can do this. How hard can it be? Looks like F-Zero, even though F-Zero came out after this game, but I'm sure it'll be alright. I played for 1 minute and then immediately ran out the building to fight Mr. Moneyman. Despite having the controls on screen, I did not know what I was doing. I made it to the first checkpoint and then failed the curve, leading to my car exploding. How the passengers somehow lived is something I'll never know, but I wasn't gonna find out anytime soon. Fast forward a couple months. After I beat the game, I later decided to try to 100% the game. Don't ask why, I don't really want to talk about it, but one of the first things I started with, besides shooting people for 20 hours, was the arcade games. And that led me to return to my totally true arch nemesis, Outrun. Now, one of the goals for the completion list was to get 10 million points in Outrun, which if you played the game, you know how hard it is to get that. To briefly summarize the game if you've never played it, you are driving a car. Shocker right now. Your goal is to drive as long as you can. It's luckily not a racing game, it's just seeing how long you can drive for. You have a timer that goes down as you play the game, and the only way to increase it is to reach your checkpoints that are across the map. But with each checkpoint, the stages get longer with more obstacles, and there are multiple branching paths linked to replayability. And I'll say right now, if you even crashed once, just reset because you're definitely not going to make it to the next checkpoint in time. This required skill. The ability to go fast while knowing your surroundings, switching gears when you know you can go fast without messing up the curves, knowing when to drift, and knowing the small differences that can occur during the run. Cars that can both be in front and behind you that can literally push you and screw you over. And I'm the type of person that likes to go on raw. I like to find out the solutions for myself before giving up and going on Google. So I was optimizing my route, choosing the right paths, knowing when to drift, and as I kept playing over and over again, getting close to those 10 million points, I started to have a feeling of adrenaline, like dopamine or something. Something that felt good but felt like a taste of something. A simulation of a taste. And I realized what it was. Driving. Do any of you guys drive? If you do, you probably know what it's like to go really fast on the highway with no traffic or pedestrians and be able to bask in the moment. Now for me, I had reasons to drive, but a large part that held me back despite my own personal reasons was the fear factor. I'm scared I'm gonna screw up and accidentally hit someone. I mean, a car is a really big object. I almost got crushed having the side door hit my body. That actually I'm out of the way. It really hurt. But there was something different about Outrun that showed me a different side of driving. It was that music especially. I've always been fascinated by driving on the highway with music playing and feeling free. Humanity has always dreamed to be fast, to fly. We made blimps and airplanes and flying machines for crying out loud. We see cheetahs and eagles and hawks and we're like, yeah, we can totally do that. For that time playing, I was so engrossed in it that I felt myself being in that car constantly dying, but it felt nice. It felt free. And honestly, that really motivated me to get my driving license more. You know, everyone has reasons for something. I have to get a driver license for these reasons, and also for these reasons that I was told by others. We get told by others that we need to do something, but unless we also have personal reasons for it, then the chances of us actually doing it are a bit low, even more so if we have a fear of it. I want to drive to get to places. I want to drive to see someone far away. My parents want me to drive because they don't trust buses and think I'll die, which isn't a 0% chance, but it's a combination of reasons that conclude what decision we make. But there needs to be an ultimatum, one reason that surpasses the others in that moment, and is able to remove any fear/hesitation of making that decision. One example I have of this is with the Fortune social link in Persona 3. To keep it brief, because I don't want to transition to venting about Persona, social links are essentially side stories with supporting characters that help you power up your persona, along with just learning about the person. In the Fortune social link, Keisuke Hiraga is put in a fixed position where his father wants him to become a doctor because he's a doctor and he wants Keisuke to follow his lead. Everyone at school knows it, and they even joke around Keisuke being set for life in a sense, joking that he's gonna be a doctor just like his father. However, that's not what Keisuke wants to do. He understands the position he's in, how privileged he is to have this opportunity, and money, but it's not what he wants to do. It's art. Over the course of the social link, we see his passion for art and how much he wants to pursue it. But we also see how much he cares for people, as like so many people get into dilemmas that require a doctor's perspective, and Keisuke just so happens to be the one to help because that's just who he is. When a protagonist gets hurt and Keisuke needs to use medical skills to save him, it's there when he realizes what he wants to do. He does want to be a doctor, but not for the reason of, oh, you'll get money, or oh, my dad wants me to. No, he wants to because he cares for others. He wants to help others, and by being a doctor, he can do that for so many people. He finally finds his own reason that breaks both sides, and that's how I sort of felt, but adding also breaking my fear. I was scared of driving, being frank. Despite having experience with it, along with having really important reasons at the time to drive, it was that initial fear that kept me from pushing forward with the whole driving thing. Yeah, you know what I felt like? Ryan when he was doing all those simulations in Metal Gear Solid 2. I had the training, but not the experience. It's like that stupid ass Gran Turismo movie. In the moment, it was for me and only me. I kept playing, getting engrossed more and more until I wanted to experience the real thing. And for the record, don't do that unless you actually want to get in like racing or something. If you're a casual driver, don't do 80 in the 20 zone. This is not the message I want to be pushing in this video. Stay safe, don't drink and drive, listen to Bakumi Tai if you're driving in the rain, super sad. Now, if any of you have 100% Yakuza 0, you may have noticed an error in what I said way earlier. It's not 10 million points, it's 5 million. And you're right, this is the correct amount. So why did I say 10 million? Because I thought it was 10 million. So I essentially wasted around a couple of hours driving until actually looking at the completion list and realizing that I wasted my time. And get this. At this point, I didn't even start the friendship with that one girl that requires the 5 million points, so I had to do it again. But you know, since I was aiming for 10 million, it was a breeze. A passing breeze, if you would. Once I realized I wasted precious hours of my life playing Outrun, I was like, look at that. And then I went to play Mahjong. Oh yeah, and then I got my driver's license. Dude, that was so easy, by the way. Yeah, fun fact, they didn't have me driving 100 miles an hour in the time limit. Crazy, I know. I did like a U-turn, if that counts as anything. You know, I just like driving in mini games. Guess what? I actually really like the taxi driver segments in Yakuza 5 because it eased me into driving more. I have this irrational fear of just accidentally hitting someone GTA style. Wait, actually, it's probably exactly the GTA.
It's been a year.
I mentioned it earlier, but I played other driving games at the time, but they didn't have the same vibe. A lot of times I was fucking around and not taking it seriously, especially with GTA. I know it's not a racing game, but I spent most of my time driving. Mario Kart sort of counts, but I'm gonna say no for this situation because that's not a driving game. That's a kill your opponent's game, and you just so happen to be in the vehicle. But Outrun had me locked in. It made me keep coming back, and most of all, I enjoyed the soundtrack. You'd be surprised how much music can change your perception of a game. Not the first, and definitely not the last. Thank you, Sega. Ever since I got my license, I've been driving, and since I don't want to be on the next live leak, I don't go at speeds that are comparable to Outrun. It is nice driving on the freeway and highway though. I get that same feeling of being free whenever I'm driving. I don't like tap out though. I'm still locked in. Don't daydream while driving. I actually have a Spotify playlist for driving, and I have the Outrun tracks on it, both from the original and the 2006 game. I've actually been listening to the Outrun Passing Breeze tracks and its variations. I wish a lot of them were on Spotify, but alas, it stays on YouTube Purgatory. I should really switch to YouTube Music soon. The one by Richard Jakes is one of my favorites though, who, if you didn't know, composed some of the song soundtracks such as the Saturn version of 3D Blast and Sonic R. A version of this track has been playing right now actually. It's the epitome of being free and letting the wind guide you. Honestly, one of my dreams is to drive super fast where no one is so I don't accidentally kill someone. I just want to go fast. I really enjoy running and letting the wind pass by me. I keep having conflict about whether I want teleportation or super speed, because teleportation is clearly better, but something about going super fast appeals to me so much more. Wait, I think this is why I like Sonic. Okay, so I know I didn't show much of my own footage because I was too lazy to record everything, but just to prove that I actually did do everything, I'm not lying. This is my save file. It's a complete save file. See all my money. These are all the guns I had. These are all the guns I had to farm here, and the one Outrun. I got both on the Super Outrun, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what it's called, Outrun. But yeah, I did do that. I just want to prove that because I was looking at the video and I realized that I do not. There's so much video credit, so I don't really have much of my own footage. But yeah. Hiru Kazuma. So that's a little story from me regarding my driver's license. It's really crazy what little things impact you that can cause you to drop all fears, all hesitations, and just do it. One thing I'll always keep learning as I get older is that no matter how much I read and the like, it's the experiences that are going to change me the most. That sounds like the most bare bones statements ever, but you'd be surprised what kind of experiences you have that affect you. Just wait. You haven't gotten it yet. But when you do, I wish you good luck. It's just really hard. Anyway, that's all for me. I hope you learned some sort of life lesson, and the life lesson is playing Outrun. It's really fun. If there's anything else you can gain from this, it's, I don't know, go figure it out for yourself. I don't think the developers of Outrun were expecting someone to want to get their driving lessons faster because of the game. I think they just want that money. Anyway, if you like this, subscribe if you can. That sounds really weird, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.